Hi guys, I just wanted to talk to you about a book I just read. It's called What She Left Behind. It's a historical fiction book and it was so amazing. I just finished it last week and I started reading it and just couldn't stop. So each chapter is written by a different character. There's two different main teenagers. So one is Izzy. She's a modern day teenager like most of you guys are. And she's kind of had a bad upbringing. Her mom killed her dad when she was a child, and she's never spoke to her mom since, and she's been in and out of foster care. So the book starts out where she gets a job at a museum with her foster mom, and part of her job is to go into an insane asylum and look at the suitcases that the people left behind years ago. And she wants to go because she wants to see really what happens in the mind of somebody that would do like what her mom did and just out of the blue shoot her dad. So she's doing that. So that is one of the main characters. The other character is Clara, and she grew up like 1930s. She was a teenager. And she was probably like a lot of you guys, maybe just, a little more outspoken, liked to dance and party and have a good time. And her dad was very, what is the word? He was just very controlling. He had a lot of money and he wanted to make sure that she was doing everything properly and up to his, what his expectations were. So it wasn't love for him for marriage. It was who would be properly placed with her. So she was very outspoken and told him how wrong it was, and he decided to admit her into a mental hospital. So she was in a mental hospital for weeks before he lost a bunch of money, and they put her into a state insane asylum. And during that time, he forgot about her. So she was placed in there. The doctors were very corrupt in there, and they would just take what her dad said and just say, yes, you are insane. You need to stay in here. So the whole book revolves around these two characters, one trying to figure out why people were placed in these insane asylums and what would make somebody just go and shoot their husband like that. And then the other one where she's rational, completely rational. She knows she's not insane. She doesn't belong in there. A lot of people that were in there didn't belong in there. And she's trying to get out and trying to get help. And if you kind of research it, back in the day, people were placed in there for stupid reasons. It wasn't that they had a mental illness. It was because they cheated on their husband or kissed another man, or they were abused by their husband, so they were placed in there, or people with asthma were placed in insane asylums. I mean, just normal things that could happen to just about anyone. So I'm going to read to you a paragraph. And Claire was placed in isolation. So this is when she was placed in isolation. It says, for the next 6 days, Claire was locked in a foul-smelling, cement-walled room on the isolation ward. The only furniture, a toilet, and a metal cot bolted to the ground. Twice a day, a tray with dry bread and a tin of broth was shoved under the riveted door through a hinged slot. The only way to distinguish night from day was by a bare bulb on the ceiling, turning on and off. Clinking chains and slamming metal doors echoed in the hall, punctuated by screams and groans. On the 6th day, Nurse Trench unlocked the door to let Clara out, clucking her tongue with disapproval. Too weak to even speak, Clara followed the nurse back to the ward without a word. So this book just gripped me. It was amazing, and it was unlike anything I've ever read. So I would highly, highly recommend it.